Namaste. So I recently posted a video that was entitled the Therapeutic Low Back Sequence. This video is the sequel or the follow-up to that video because after I posted it, I realized that there were some key things that I did not mention that I want to mention because I believe that it will help people understand why what they're doing works, because the therapeutic low back sequence is multifaceted, it's multi-layered. And in my case anyway, I always am more motivated to do something when I understand why and how it works, and that enables me, in my experience, to give more of my attention and my energy to that endeavor, whatever it is, and will help me get better results. And that's what I want for you. So that's why I'm giving you a little bit more information, just in case you're like that. So my focus, so if you have not watched the first video entitled The Therapeutic Low Back Sequence, I do recommend that you watch that one first, and I'm going to link it below. And because that one is has all the key foundational information as to what it is, who it's for, how it works, etc., plus the full demo with explanation. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a few points that I left out in the talk, and then I'm going to do the practice again with you in real time. This time I'm not going to talk hardly at all during the practice, so you can get the feel of how meditative and relaxing it can be to do the long holds, and how that really can give you a break. It's like a little mini meditation that you're using your body. I might even add some music, and I might have a few comments here and there, but mostly I'm just going to do the comments here. So in my last talk, when I discussed the practice, I discussed it from the angle of all muscles and anatomy, and we're stretching this muscle and we're stretching this, this muscle, and it was very Western anatomical, mechanical based, and that component is definitely active and it's definitely important. But the point I want to make here is that's not the only thing that's happening. The therapeutic low back sequence is more complex than that, and it's working on more levels of your being than simply the mechanical flesh and bone level. So the other way that it's working is on the level of meridians. So the first stretch that is done when we're lying on our backs and we're stretching that leg straight up, and we're getting that long stretch through here, the back of the leg. Well, that's not only the hamstring muscles. Yes, it is, but it's also the bladder meridian. And the bladder meridian in Chinese medicine is a huge meridian. It starts here at the eyebrow. It governs the nervous system because it's running right down either side of the spine. So if you can relax and open the bladder meridian, you'll start to calm down, right? So, and that's why these stress points here, right up where the eyebrow meets the bridge of the nose, this is the top of the bladder meridian. Anyway, the meridian starts here, it goes over the head, and then down the back. And as it goes down the back, it has two branches. So these two enormous streams of chi running down either side of the spine, down either side of the sacrum. So there's points all along the sacrum, and then down the entire back of the leg until it finally ends up right at the outside of the little toe. And if you have low back pain and you go to an acupuncturist, they will needle that meridian, and I've had it done, and it's very effective. And in another video, I might tell my story of low back pain. But they did needle me right behind the knee. This is on the bladder meridian. And this point and this whole meridian gets opened up very powerfully in the therapeutic low back sequence. So I really wanted to make that point, that we're not just getting muscles and tendons, we're getting meridians. Again, when we take the leg over to the side, this whole outer aspect of the leg. This is the gallbladder meridian, okay? And there's often a point, there is a point that's often sore on people that's right here in the kind of the lateral buttock region. And that is a major gallbladder point, and it does tend to get blocked up if you're sitting a lot and you're not moving around a lot. And that's also a very big meridian that kind of comes more up the side of the body, through the shoulder. It kind of zigzags through the head, and it ends up here. And the gallbladder meridian is often involved if you get headaches and things. And I'll do a whole nother video just on that. Then when we take the leg out to the side this way, we're getting kidney and spleen and liver meridians. So some very important meridians are being addressed, opened very strongly. When we're doing this, the lunge like this, okay, we're up here, this is getting still kidney, spleen, and a little bit of the stomach meridian. So the therapeutic low back sequence, it's more than just your back. You're getting your chi running through your entire body. And when your chi is running, you're going to feel better, okay? Because one of the symptoms of stagnated chi, blocked chi, which is just their word for energy, blocked bioenergy. The Western term would be bioelectrical energy. That's the closest the Western allopathic has come to the concept of chi. But when you get your chi running, then it's just like it increases your overall well-being. It's like like imagine a swamp and then a flowing, running river. Like, we can't really comment on if the swamp is feeling low, but we can look at the water and we can look that it gets kind of brown and cloudy after a while, whereas a clear running river is just that, it's clear and it's moving. In Chinese medicine, they have a saying that blood follows qi. So if you think of qi, it's like this bioelectrical energy. It's kind of like the magnet, right? Magnetic, bioelectrical. And the blood, well, we all know that blood contains iron. So just, you can, don't believe me, look up for yourself, like the pattern that the iron filings make on the magnet, right? That is visual image of this invisible energy. Well, it's the same with your body. So blood follows qi. The iron filings are going to follow the electromagnetic field, whether they're in the body or whether they're on your horseshoe magnet. Okay, that's one way to understand qi. So, so the therapeutic low back sequence will get all that running, and you'll feel better, and your back will feel better. Okay. The other point is on that same note, but something that I forgot to mention in my last video, is if you do have the type of low back pain that's brought on because you're just sitting too much. You're sitting in the car, you're sitting at work, maybe you're sitting in front of the television. I had a client the other day say, yeah, I feel pretty good except for when I watch TV, I get this pain here and it shoots down my leg. Well, she's got some stagnation going on. So if you are one whose pain is caused by sitting, I recommend that you find something that you enjoy doing, an exercise program, that you're either running, swimming, walking, or biking. And the reason I like these four specifically is because they're symmetrical. The two sides of the body are doing the same thing. It's not that golf is bad, it's not that tennis is bad, or what do they play, squash? And the point is you should do what you enjoy, but the thing about golf and tennis is that they're one-sided, and that's going to catch up with you over time. So what I tell my golfers is every time you do the tee off, you have to step back and you got to go the other way. And your cronies might laugh at you, but you're going to feel better, and long term, you will probably be the one who is laughing last because you won't be in pain. So on that note, I'm going to go on and we're going to do the practice again, and I'm going to hold each position for 2 minutes. One other note that I wanted to add, if you are practicing and you're not used to these long holds, well, I'm telling you what's happening is as you're stretching that meridian, that chi is going to start trying to run through that meridian because you're giving it the space. Okay, and what happens is your body can and will start to shake, especially in the longer holds. You know, back in the day when I was studying in the Iyengar method, we would hold those kind of stretches, exactly the type that I'm showing you, for upwards of 5 to 10 minutes even. And I'm telling you, 10 minutes stretching your leg way up, I don't care how advanced you are, you're going to start shaking a little bit. That means the chi is running and it's pushing against whatever blocks that might be there. And that's why you start to shake. So if that happens to you, be assured you're doing it right. You are doing yoga, or rather yoga is doing you. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a dangerous thing. The danger that you always want to be on the alert for in your practice is you don't ever want to feel a sharp pain in a joint, okay? Whether it's your ankle, whether it's your knee, shoulder, etc. Do not tolerate a sharp joint pain ever. That's a danger sign, okay? If you're feeling a feeling of intensity in the belly of a muscle, that is fine, okay? Your body's opening. You're cultivating an opening, okay? So we'll get on with the practice. Please comment or email me if you have questions or comments. Thank you so much. Namaste. Okay, here we go. So I've got my strap, I've got my phone, and I've got my block. So we're going to start out just with the feet against the wall. If you can get yourself a wall at home, please put your feet against the wall. Feel the inner thighs rotating in and down to the floor. You'll feel your low back start to open up as you do that. And then bending the knees. We'll do our spacer. So pull, push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab your brick and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've set my timer, 2 minutes. Remember the modification, if you're stiff, if this leg is not at least 90 degrees, okay, if it's way down here somewhere, nothing wrong. You just need to bend this leg, or you get to bend that leg, okay? And that should enable you to bring it up a little bit more. But just prioritize keeping this leg straight, because as we just went over, we want this bladder meridian to open up all the way, okay? Back of the neck is long. You can place the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes. standing leg internally rotates. That means the inner thigh is going to roll down towards the floor. And the top leg, the inner knee, the inner thigh, rolls this way. It's just a slight roll. Second position. Set my timer, 2 minutes. I'm still working on the right leg. I'm going to roll my internal thigh, the down leg down. I'm going to take this out to the side. Now, I don't need support. You might. So here I'm going to show with the pillow. I'm going to take this pillow and I'm going to put it right where my leg can rest on it. Okay? You can have as many pillows as you want. Just keep that leg straight. Okay? Keep your down leg straight and rolling in. You want you to press out with the heel on your right leg. Breathing in and out. Tongue to palate. Relax your eyes. Relax your brain. And just push that down foot into the wall. Relax your shoulders. Relax the back of your neck. And you'll notice that as you hold this, your body might start to open up and you might be able to go in a little bit farther. And you can just allow that to happen, making little adjustments as needed. Bringing the leg up, and now we're going to take it across. So as you can see, I'm not taking it all the way. I'm going to let myself do that at the end. Okay? I'm going to hold it right about here. About 45 degrees, as I said in the last video, from the center. And I'm going to let this go because I don't need it. But you might need it. You do want to take it to the point where you do feel some degree of stretch here on the outer hip. And then I'm going to just let it go for the very end because it feels nice. I'm going to bend my knee I'm going to roll to the back. And now I'm ready to go on to the other side with the straight legs. Straight-legged positions. So I'm going to take my left leg, my foot's into the wall, and I'm going to stretch that up. I'm opening the back of my leg. Again, if I'm stiff, I'm going to bend that down leg. If I'm flexible and I don't need a strap, I'm not going to use a strap. I'm just going to grab my big toe and I'm going to relax. I'm going to let my body just, as it starts to open and I feel it opening, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to keep opening the backs of both legs. I'm going to keep that impulse of the down leg into the brick, into the wall rather. Inhaling, I'm going to exhale, I'm going to take my leg out to the side. I'm going to extend my other leg or my other arm because it feels good. If I need my pillow, if I'm stiff on the inner thigh, I'm going to take my pillow and have it underneath my foot. As many pillows as I need. Even if I need like 3 or 4 couch cushions, whatever it takes. The point is that you're stretching this internal aspect. Okay, liver, kidney, spleen. Very important yin meridians. Let those open up. Get a flow of chi through all those organs into that whole meridian system. Wow, it feels so good. Just press out through the heel of your left leg, press out through the heel of your down leg, rolling that inner thigh of the down leg down to the floor. Down leg is this leg, so that's what I mean when I say down leg. Inhaling, bringing that leg up. And then exhale, I'm going to take it over. Ooh. Now see, on my body, I'm a little bit tighter on this side. I can feel it. So that just means that I'm a little bit more blocked up over here. So I can just enjoy it even more. I feel that strong opening on the outside. I feel it all the way down. Yikes. All the way down the outer calf, which is all this good gallbladder channel. Right? And I feel it there. I should feel it there because I know that that's one of my weak link meridians.
or my former weak link meridians, that is. And you can breathe. If you feel intensity when you're doing this stretch, then you always will back off to a tolerable degree, a tolerable place to hang out. Okay? If you feel the intensity, back off to where it's tolerable, and then take some nice deep breaths while you relax your jaw. Relax your eyes, relax your brain, and let the meridians take the work. You're going to feel like $1,000,000 after this, I promise. Inhale, or it's likely that you will. And then exhale. Okay, the bent-leggeds. So I'm going to set my timer, 2 minutes. And working with the right leg, I'm going to cross my right leg over. I'm going to reach under and through the hole. Okay, so I'm reaching under my right leg. I'm not letting my right knee come in toward my shoulder. I'm keeping it pushed away. And that's going to make me feel it right here in the deep lateral hip rotators of the right leg. And then I'm just going to relax. Modification would be you'd put this foot, this left foot, up against a wall. So you could just rest like that in that position. This foot is against a wall. I don't have a wall here, so I can't show it. But if you don't need a wall, then you just will hug that knee in. Keeping the back of my neck long. And tongue to the palate. The tongue to the palate is a special, it's another meridian secret that the tongue to the palate connects these two major meridians, the central channel to the governing. So you get a circuit. Okay, the chi will flow in a circuit. So in any time you're doing any yoga, you want to have that. That's called jiva bandha, when you have the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And there's all kinds of variations of it. But I can't talk about it now. And I'm just feeling the fibers of those muscles. I'm feeling the top of my hamstring attachment. And my whole bladder meridian, of course. Okay, position 2 of the bent-legged. Still, my right leg is my working leg. I'm going to walk my right knee to the right. I'm going to let it come down. Okay, it's an internal rotation. My right knee is internally rotating. If I feel like I need support, if I feel it in my right knee at all, then I'm going to put that pillow right underneath my knee. I can take my arms out if I like. Let yourself come into a position, a configuration that feels nice to you. And let your chi flow. Let your energy flow. That's why you have to work at a place that is you can relax into. Because the chi flows in a relaxation. Another thing you can do, if you feel any degree of uncomfortableness in this down knee, you flex the foot. Okay, that will protect your knee. Flex your right foot. If you feel any twinge in your right knee in this position, flex your foot, get support underneath it, and if it still hurts, then you're going to contact me or your yoga teacher, because you're not ready for this position then. Because you do not want to feel this in your knee. You want to be taking it in the hip rotators. The knee is what one of my former teachers used to say, well, the knee will pay toll. Okay, if the hip isn't working as it should, the knee will pay toll. So we do not want to pay that toll. It's better to take a different bridge, right? Okay, so the third bent-legged is this half Supta Virasana. I should probably show it this way. Okay, here. But for the sake of this video, even though I can hold this for 2 minutes, no problem, I have a feeling that a lot of my viewers won't be able to. So I'm going to show the modification as I did in the last video. So my right leg's my back leg, that's my working leg, and we do the gecko, the lunge. And I'm going to hold this for 2 minutes. This front foot is slightly turned out. My knee is tracking right over my toes. Okay, don't let your knee buckle inward. That's always a recipe for no-no. Okay, always keep your knee tracking over your toes. And then you're going to have happy knees. This is getting the spleen meridian very strongly. Spleen meridian gets in folded position when you're sitting all the time. So this turns that inside out. Spleen and stomach meridians, that's your digestive function. It's very important to keep that the chi lively in those channels. You'll have better digestion and elimination. Again, I can come into this fairly deeply. Your position might look more like this. If it hurts this down knee, you can get a pillow under that knee. But when you can get to the point where you're resting above your kneecap, you'll be a very happy camper in that position. Okay? Now we're going to do the bent-leggeds on the left side. So my left leg crosses up. I push my knee away. I reach underneath the left calf and I hug this knee. If this is too much, I put my foot against a wall and I stay right here. But I keep this knee pushed away. Don't do this because then you miss it. Okay? Es mucho importante. And then hug that in. If you're flexible, then you just hug that in. Oh, it feels so good. This foot you can let relax. Back of the neck is long, tongue to palate. Wow. It's so good, but it can be really intense. Okay, now still working my left leg. My left foot walks to the left. I'm going to drop that knee. This thigh I want coming straight out of my hip. Then the other foot is going to come on top. Alright, I used to call this mermaid pose in my classes. This is the tail down here. Oh, it feels really good. But like I said, get support under your knee if you need it. You can even use a yoga block, okay? Right, like that. Otherwise, if it doesn't bother you to have your knee hanging in space, then let it do that. It's just all about listening to your body and making adjustments for your own needs. This one, I'm just going to say, this one is often the one that people need to, because this is this internal rotation position. This is often the piece that they miss, that is not present in any of their other activities. This is why yoga is such a gem, because it takes your body. I mean, those yogis, unbelievable. They figured out how the human body could go in all possible configurations. And it's not just because they wanted to be acrobatic or anything. It's all serving a function, an energetic function. And the human body is capable of so many things that the West has not approached. Okay, inhaling. We're going to come up, and now we'll do the gecko. Unless you're flexible, you can work here 2 minutes. If you're flexible, this is a cakewalk. You know, you can just rest here. It's like you might as well be taking a nap. Okay, but you have to have a lot of openness in your ankle, your quad, and your hip flexors. Okay, here again we're getting a spleen meridian very strongly, stomach meridian. Okay. I'm going to show the gecko, which is also very fun. And I like to have my hand on the block. But you can have the hand on the floor if you like. My other hand, I've actually got my elbow that's right on my knee. If you don't have a yoga block or if you don't have a strap, I'm going to have it linked below if you need to know, where to purchase one. If it's not linked below at the time when you're watching this video, it will be. But if you're serious about your yoga practice, it's really helpful to have a block and a strap at least. And of course a good mat. But if you don't have a block, you can put your hand on, you could use any household item, you could use a firm pillow, whatever you got lying around, a stack of blankets, even a brick, even a real brick with a piece of fabric over it to make it smooth. As it releases, keep sinking. Because as you hold this will release. And you just keep sinking into that. You can brace yourself there with your elbow on your knee. And see how quickly, 2 minutes, even 2 minutes will go quickly once you start enjoying yourself. And then you'll want to move up to 3 minutes.
Okay, now before we do our spacer, we're going to sit in Baddha Konasana. And I'm actually going to time this. I'm going to time it for 2 minutes. And in this posture, now there's different ways you can do it, and I'll show you. If you're very stiff, you can sit on the edge of a pillow. And I'll show you from the side. What you want to do is you just get the pillow underneath your buttocks, and then you can pull that flesh out from behind. And so you're kind of, it will encourage you to tip, encourage your pelvis to tip forward. You want to avoid this kind of rounding. That's why the pillow is just under the very edge to encourage you to get that forward tip with your pelvis. Okay, if you need to sit on more of a height to get that tip, then you can do so. But this is a wonderful posture to stabilize from right to left. Right, left brain, right, left sides of the body. If you do not need a pillow, then you do not have to use one. But you do want to avoid this rolling back. And if your hamstring attachments are tight, then it will want to do that. So most beginners do need to sit on a height of some sort. And it's possible that you may even need to sit on something as high as a block. And it can be done that way too. Ah, yes. This actually gives me a nice feeling that I can let my thighs go and I can let my pelvis roll forward. Because I want these tops of my pelvic bones, okay, the tops of these iliac crests, I don't want them to be rocking back. I want them to be level, just like I'm standing. I grab my big toes, I lift my chest. It feels good. Okay? That will be a really good pose to befriend in general with your yoga practice. Okay, we'll do our isometric to get our psoas activated, and then we'll take Shavasana. So pull the knees in, and I'm going to pull my right, I'm going to push my left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, you want to feel this deep up behind, this muscle is behind your abdominal muscles. It's in front, it lies right in front of the spinal column. So it's very deep. Pull and push. I'm pulling my right and pushing my left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we take our block and we're going to hug that between the knees. Just steady pressure inwards. Equal on both sides. This is to stabilize and neutralize. Every time, if you're working just one side of the body, you know, different sides, you want to do something that is symmetrical, okay, to stabilize things. Now, one comment, when you're doing this, you ideally won't feel any pain, and you want to feel it up in here, okay? Now we're going to take Shavasana. I'm going to have a pillow underneath there. If you are in low back pain, you might need several pillows to be comfortable. It's not unusual, okay, to have
even bolsters. If you've been to a yoga class and they have the large bolsters, even a couple of them. The important thing is to be comfortable. And I'm going to give us a 2-minute Shavasana. If you're working on your own, I recommend you take at least 5 minutes, because this is the time when your body is digesting and absorbing the practice. You've taken a pranic meal, a chi meal, and you're letting your body absorb and assimilate it. And so this is your meditation time. You just lie back, the work is over. Before we go into Shavasana, I just want to say that in the video I made a 2-minute Shavasana, but if you want a longer Shavasana, then I encourage you to stop the video and do as long a rest as you want, and then you can, if you want to hear my closing comments, then you can restart the video. Thank you so much. And you just let your legs do whatever they want to do. Now in my case, I can feel my right leg's rolling out a little bit more. I'm just going to let it. I'm going to take deep breaths. I'm going to let my eyes sink heavy. Let my eyes sink into my brain. I'm going to let my brain sink into my skull. I'm going to let my skull sink into the floor. I'm going to feel my sacrum spreading into the floor, my kidneys opening into the floor. Feeling the energy, the chi kind of percolating in my body. It's normal to feel that after your asana work. Okay, that was 2 minutes. I'm going to roll to my side. I'm going to press up. And so that was it. Please contact me or comment if you have any. And I wish you the very, very best on healing your low back in a natural and beautiful way that feels good every step of the way. Namaste.